it's Cass. Welcome back to my channel, What Cass Read. Oh, dog tongue in the mouth. Today I'm going to bring you a video talking about my most anticipated new releases for 2020. To be honest, there's not actually that many books that I feel like I am just super amped over, especially at the beginning of the year. This year seems like all the books that I want to read either have had their start dates pushed back to the fall, or they're not originally going to be released until the fall. So the beginning of this year, there's very few books I actually want to talk about. So it's kind of a hard video for me to film because, like, who even knows if the books that I want to talk about that are coming out at the end of the year are actually going to come out at the end of the year. Do you know what I mean? But anyways, let's get to it. So the first book that I want to talk about is Come Tumbling Down, written by Seanan McGuire. This is book number 5 of the Wayward Children series. It's her series of novellas that is a portal fantasy series following young children who have either stepped through 2 portal worlds or have come back from portal worlds and the different stories and things that make up their lives. I have read the first 3. I purchased the 4th one, and that one's In an Absent Dream. I actually haven't gotten to that one yet. I bought it, I started it, I didn't actually finish it, and now the 5th one's coming out. It's a good thing they're all kind of companion novels because you don't really need to read one before the other one, except for I feel like this one is a really important one to read, at least after the first 2 books. So the 5th book does follow some characters that we have already met before. It continues on Jack and Jill's storyline, and they were the main 2 characters that we follow along with in Down Among the Sticks and Bones, and that was my favorite out of the whole series so far. So that makes me really excited to get back with these characters and just see how their life has been. And, you know, there were some pretty heavy things that happened in their life at the end of the 2nd book, at the end of the 1st book. So I really look forward to what is going to happen to them in this 5th book. Yeah, so even though I haven't read the 4th book, I am actually looking very much forward to Come Tumbling Down, and that is supposed to come out January 2020. It looks like the release date, according to Goodreads, is January 7th, 2020, so that one should be coming out very soon. And then, wouldn't you know, my next anticipated releases don't actually come out till April. I'm telling you, like, the beginning part of this year doesn't have a lot of books coming out for me, which is odd. The next book that I want to talk about is Shorefall, written by Robert Jackson Bennett. It is supposed to come out on April 21st, 2020. This is book number 2 of the Founders series. It follows Foundry Side, which I already have a review up on my channel. I initially was not planning on reading Shorefall. When I first read Foundry Side, if you remember from the BookTube SFF Awards, I was like, I really liked Foundry Side, but I just feel like I'm not going to continue with the series. And then, do you see that cover? I'm a sucker for a really good cover. It's the cover that was like, maybe I do want to check out Shorefall. Within the magical world, in the city of Tavon, there's an ancient magic system that we uncovered within Foundry Side. Well, one of those beings is wreaking havoc in Shorefall and causing a lot of problems for our main characters like Sancha from book number 1. So the description grabbed me, this cover really grabbed me, and now I'm looking forward to reading book number 2 in this series starting in April. We'll see if I actually get to it in April, but that's when it comes out. Okay, this one, I am really looking forward to this one. This is The Girl and the Stars, written by Mark Lawrence. It's supposed to come out April 30th, 2020, and this is a brand new series by Mark Lawrence that takes place in the same world that the Book of the Ancestor trilogy took part in, and that's with Red Sister, Grey Sister, and Holy Sister. This follows a completely new set of characters. It follows a member of an ice tribe. So I have a review of Red Sister already on my channel, but for those who haven't read it yet, this world, this planet, the moon is dying and the light of the moon is waning, and what has happened is there's some type of device that has allowed the reflection of the moon to focus its light around a spherical corridor on this planet, and that's where all of civilization has been living on this planet, because there's nowhere else that the people could live because the rest of the planet is covered by ice, and every year the ice keeps closing farther and farther in. However, this new book series follows a character who makes their living as a member of the ice tribes. We do meet some ice tribe members in the Book of the Ancestor trilogy, but this one just sounds really exciting. That cover is super gorgeous. So that's supposed to come out late April, and I do plan on getting that one as soon as possible. I wonder, I actually really hope, and I should look this up, because I read the entire Book of the Ancestor trilogy on audiobook, and I really like that narrator. I wonder if that narrator will be coming back, because that would make me so happy. I should put in a good word with Mark Lawrence. All right, and now we're getting into some, like, if, ands, or maybes. Maybe these are gonna come out, because then the rest of these are all like question marks. Are they coming out, or they're set to be released in August or later? The first book that I'm actually heartbroken about is Hallowpox, written by Jessica Townsend. This is my most anticipated book of 2020. I am anxiously waiting for Hallowpox. This is book number 3 in the Nevermore series, and if you have followed my channel at least for a little bit, you know that I really love the Nevermore series. It is a middle grade series that just completely swept me off my feet and changed my life. Jessica Townsend had tweeted out that it was supposed to be released in March in the US and February in the UK and Australia. And then I noticed on Goodreads that it was now changed to an August release date. I looked at the US publisher's website, it said August, and now I'm just like utterly heartbroken. I checked Book Depository, that said August, so I'm really bummed, because I thought I was gonna finally get to this book earlier in the year. I thought it was coming out in March. But anyways, Hallowpox, we do follow our young protagonist, Morgan Crow. She has now completed her very first year at the Wondrous Society as a member of Unit 919, and now she finally gets to begin learning the wretched arts. When this book starts, however, there is a plague called Hallowpox that has begun to infect the Wunimal characters in Nevermore, and Wunimals are intelligent animals, but this Hallowpox plague is turning them into Unimals, which are docile, non-intelligent animals. It's a very whimsical story, so Wunimals and Unimals are a thing. So anyways, Morgan has to get to the bottom of this and figure out what's going on, because she might actually have something to do with this Hallowpox plague. It sounds so good, and that's why I'm just like so upset that it's not going to be released at the beginning of the year. Oh my gosh, I have to wait. Going back to July, this one's a question mark book. This is Play of Shadows, written by Sebastien de Castell. I don't know anything about this book other than I was just casually on Sebastien de Castell's website. I was checking out his publisher, seeing if there's anything new from him coming out. So Play of Shadows is supposed to be a new book in a new series called The Duelist, but it is supposed to be within the same world that the Greatcoats take place in. Other than that, I don't know anything about it, other than he had been working on it. It says July 2020 as an expected release date, but there hasn't been any other information, so that one's kind of a big question mark. Jay Kristoff tweeted out Empire of the Vampire, expected in September 2020. We could probably say that this book is going to be a little bit more reliable. Jay Kristoff does tend to put out more books on average, I'd say. So this is his take on paranormal fantasy. And I don't know about you, but I feel like we have been sorely without a good vampire story for a while. So I will be picking this book up because I do want a good vampire story in my life. I've just really been missing out on some vampires for a while. Okay, To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. This is expected September 15th, 2020. And I say expected because he did do a countdown on his Twitter. He released a video. Chris Paolini, we're looking at you, man. This is a big deal because ever since he finished the Inheritance cycle, I have been following him since the Inheritance cycle. I have bought each of those books on their release date when they came out. This is like pre-booktube, pre-book Twitter. You had to follow along with the author's individual blogs just to get any kind of news. And at that time when he released it, he had even said that his next book series that he wanted to write was going to be a science fiction, you know, a space opera. This is what this book is promised to be. He's promised some good action, and like I said, I feel like he maybe felt a little bit of imposter syndrome after he released Inheritance because he went radio silent for a long time. So for me as a longtime fan of him, this is a big deal. Like when he announced it, I was like, good on you, bro. Like I'm really happy that now we are officially getting to this space opera that you promised the fans a very long time ago. And I'm looking forward to it. I do plan on picking it up, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, and then my final book that I want to mention is going to be Lightbringer by Claire Legrand. This one is also expected in fall 2020. Claire Legrand recently tweeted this out. But again, we don't have a cover, we don't have really a synopsis yet, but we just know that this is going to be the third book in the Imperium trilogy. I've already posted my review of Furyborn on this channel. I do plan on reading Kingsbane, which is book number 2, so I will be ready for Lightbringer as soon as it comes out. For those of you who have read Furyborn already, we know who the Lightbringer is. I'm not sure what happens at the end of Kingsbane, but from the spoiler that we got at the very, very beginning of Furyborn to the 1,000-year timeline later where we know the outcome of the world, I'm kind of expecting my heart to be broken in Lightbringer. So I'm very excited for that one. Claire Legrand, she tweeted that out recently, and I look forward to it. So yeah, this one, normally I have more definitive books and things like that to talk about in my anticipated releases video, but like I said, this year is a very slow year for me in fantasy. But that's okay because I've got a ton of backlist fantasy that I have to get to. Alright, so that was my list of some of my most anticipated 2020 new releases. Please let me know what you think about these picks in the comment section down below. What are some of your upcoming most anticipated 2020 releases, because maybe I missed something. If you want to follow me on social media, you can also do that. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. It's at whatcassread, the same as this channel, so it should be super easy for you to find. And then my Goodreads link, my book club Goodreads link, that's always listed and linked down below for you, and you know how these videos end. I'll talk to you later. Bye.